One last one. Luke, in the role that you were just talking about at the end of that lineup, how is that emblematic of his impact where he's just like kind of in the right places and his presence just makes the team better overall?
It's very valuable when you have a good team with players that have a lot of talent and someone that continuously just fills in the blanks where you need. And he does that quite a bit in a lot of different ways for us, which allows us to be very creative.
Victor had that sequence late in the fourth where he didn't get that transition basket, and then they attacked him in the veer, and White was able to get by Fox just because kind of passed Fox along. When you see him have those moments where he kind of gets on tilt in transition, and then they're able to expose him on the other end, how do you coach him through those moments?
If I'm following you, I believe it was in the fourth when it was a little up and down. I probably could have coached him harder by calling a timeout. The game got a little frantic, and we were getting stops and rebounds, so I'm always mindful to not taking advantage away from our players, but you could see it where we were just the tank was getting low, and I probably could have called one to keep them under control, but in those situations they got to play through it, and we're human, so I get it. At times you may have to save yourself's the wrong word because we need you to empty the tank as much as possible, but there are certain things where you cannot let your guard down. Transition defense is one, rebounding is one, playing with pace is one, and so it's a tough task, and sometimes the game feels like it's swallowing you up in terms of the pace and the physicality, and when you have stretches of non-calls, and it's just, again, opportunities for us to fight through because that's what really good teams do, and you can't allow the circumstances of whatever it may be impose their will on yourself or on the team.
I mean, I was trying to tee you up because I thought you did some good coaching. Because after that, with the French vanilla lineup, it forced Shireman to have to cover him instead of Keita, and he was able to shoot over that. So I guess what were you trying to get out of that lineup, and why do you think it worked?
It's a lineup. Obviously, we put a little bit more during the start of the year. It's been hard with circumstances out of our control. We like the lineup a lot in terms of it gives us constant rim protection. We have to be better in terms of we need time to learn what that looks like for everybody else in terms of whether it's navigating, getting over pick and roll screens, pressing up, because you always have a constant of one of those two as your low man on the opposite side, them getting better at communicating, talking that out, bigs in, smalls out, bigs down, smalls up. And so it's going to take time. But the idea of it in terms of rebounding, in terms of it doesn't sacrifice anything we want to do spacing-wise, Luke's extremely smart. I think it has a lot of potential. It's just we have to be mindful and just allow it to grow organically is the best way I could put it.
And that last shot that Victor hit, something I guess a lot of us have talked about is we're still trying to see what are his core go-to shots? What are the things we know this is coming? It seems like that shot could be one that could be part of it. How do you see him as he's getting more comfortable as the season goes on start to kind of identify some of the kind of signature things that you can go to?
Yeah, he's a young player who has an extreme amount of talent, as we all know, and a lot of weapons in the toolbox. And our job, and specifically my job, is to help him continue to understand and see spaces and spots where he can take advantage of that, and then allow him to go do it. And success and failure will all be good learning lessons for him moving forward.
So what's 21 in the second half? What did you think of his night? Just how he managed things, shook off those double teams, and then came on late.
Yeah, I think when he was under control, he's so dynamic when he has the ball. He can dictate the tempo or the pace of the game. And so I think sometimes he just gets a little sped up. I know it's hard to say because it's him, but any 21-year-old, and he's been out, and he's not getting to play as much as he wants. So sometimes he's trying to get right to it. And so it's just a continued growth opportunity for him. And I thought, obviously, when it mattered the most, he was at his best. And we'll take that every time and continue to try to get better.
Julian hit the boards, had that big block laid on Derek. What'd you think of his night?
I think Julian embodied what we were trying to do and what we've been fighting to do more consistent through this stretch in terms of just putting our energy into the right places and not allowing outcomes, results, or shots to dictate that energy.